Oh, hello. We are at the first day of exploring, day 2 in Portugal. Day 2 exploring the Algarve coast and Lagos, like absolutely stunning and beautiful. And obviously I'm still standing here wearing the same outfit because I did day 1's recording about 10 minutes ago. But the sun is still setting and it's absolutely stunning. So today, think, oh my gosh, we're going to have a beautiful lie-in. Come on, when you've got 3 kids, aged 5 and under, you're definitely not having any type of lay-in, let's be real. So, to be honest though, we were up like 7 o'clock. The first kid kind of walked into the room to ask us, like, what's the plan for breakfast? So, it's about on par with what happens at home. So yeah, comfortably rolled out of bed. Everyone had, like, the boys had cereal, we had some like omelettes and avocado, and just kind of had a nice, relaxed, chilled breakfast morning, sat out on the balcony, on the table, like it was beautiful. Got ourselves dressed and ready, and we decided, right, today we are going to have a resort kind of exploring day. We want to actually see what's around. Obviously, where we arrived quite late yesterday, we didn't have the time or the energy, to be honest. Ooh, bird, Jesus. We didn't have the time or the energy, in all honesty, to go and explore and look around the resort. So we're like, right, we'll do that today. Like, we need a bit more relaxing time. I think this is going to fly again in a minute. Need a bit more relaxing time anyway. And we opted for that. So we got ourselves dressed, got ourselves ready. Boys are all in shorts, loving life, because obviously the Hamburg holiday, it was snowing and absolutely freezing, and no fecker wanted to walk outside the hotel. So here, yeah, beautiful change of scenery, absolutely stunning. So we had a little stroll around, found the swimming pool that's like right at the back of our apartment. There is a sand pool, so they've got like a nice kind of like patch of sand, and then the sand leads into the swimming pool as well, so it is very much that beach vibe. They have like a children's pool next to it as well, like, you know, like one of those little kind of splash pools. And they actually provide all of the like sand building equipment. There's like a bucket with fucking hell, this is just getting a bit diabolical now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, so they actually have a bucket with all of the like sand building equipment that you could possibly want, like on the side of the pool. It was great, it was fab, it was lovely. Yeah, they had provide like sand equipment and stuff. We walked through, saw that obviously there's a pool bar, which I'm assuming in the summer is open, like it wasn't open at the moment. Walked around, found the kids club, which we'd seen on the kind of like itinerary, that they do different activities throughout the week, kind of like hour-long activities from about 9:30 in the morning till about 5:30 maybe in the afternoon, where it could be like your kids can go and like they do plant potting, they do kind of like drawing, or like different games, or create with me, book stories, like this type of jazz, where you can just take them 3 years and up. You can kind of like drop them off if they're under 3 years and they need to have adult supervision. It's kind of nice to know that even if they're under 3, like they can still partake. But then outside of the kids club, they had this absolutely stunning playground, so the boys loved it. They had that, like, playing on the swings, they got to walk along the obstacle course, play on the zip wire, like living their best life, in all honesty. Like, what else would you expect? So we probably spent a good half hour, 45 minutes just playing there. And then after that, we looped back round to where the main hotel is, and they have what's known as like the hotel pool outside the front of that. And outside the front of that, obviously, is the hotel pool. As we were walking there, probably about just before 10 o'clock in the morning, the guy was just cleaning it out. The kids were having a little chat with them because it looked like there was a snake or a shark in the pool, so it was great. We had a little nosy at where the spa was, and we found a games room. So they have this absolutely stunning games room that has got like your pool table, it's got a table tennis, and it's got like a foosball table that is you can use at your own leisure. You just pick up the equipment from reception, and then when you're finished, you literally just drop it back off. So I was like, well, that's absolutely quite nice. It's nice knowing that if we have a day where it's like, oh, we don't particularly want to go out much, or we've got like an hour to kill, then we can actually just come here for a games day type thing. The restaurants that are here, they've got I think 3 restaurants, I believe, on site. We've not explored them yet. Like, we've had a little nosy through the windows. There is a lighthouse bar as well that we've been given like complimentary drinks for, like when you check in. So I think we are going to plan to like go sit in and have a drink at some point, like later on in the week, just to kind of get the vibe and see what it's like in there, because don't we all just love a viewpoint? We managed to find where like the football courts are, where the gym was, and the gym's quite nice as well, to be honest. They've got like your inside kind of like what you'd expect to find in your gyms, your like cardio equipment, your weights and stuff, but then they also have got like an outside deck where it's got more of your kind of like your ropes, your tyre flipping, like that type of jazz. So I was like, oh, this is quite cool. And again, that's open, that you can just stroll up during the open times or book yourself onto some classes. It's actually pretty nice. And then we decided, like after we'd done like the loop of the resort, we decided, oh, you know what, we'll go back. We will check ourselves. We'll go back, we'll get ourselves changed, we'll put our swimming costumes on, everything, and we will like take the kids down to the sand pool, because they've just been talking about swimming from the moment we got here. And they did. We must have spent about 2 hours there, for them splashing around in a splash pool, them building sand castles, taking advantage of obviously the equipment that's out there provided for them. I'd bought some goggles with me and like one of those frisbees, so they were just throwing that around, living their best life. And honestly, it was great to see them having so much fun, but knowing as well they were in like really tiny amounts of water, that we were sat in sunbeds right next to them, and they could just live their best life. Because normally when you've got kids and you're at a resort that isn't child friendly, you're always having to go in with them and carry them if they can't swim. So this was quite nice, a pleasant surprise. And then after that, we got out probably just before lunchtime, and we thought, you know what, we are going to dry up, get dressed, and get back in the car and just head out and explore. So what we did today is we literally realised that everything's about 5 minutes drive from everywhere. So we drove 5 minutes down the road and headed to absolutely stunning sightseeing. Like, this place is gorgeous. Being able to see kind of all that iconic Algarve coast edges and all this jazz, seeing everyone else walking along the bridges, like getting to those viewpoints where you can see everyone standing, you're like, you know what, I need to be here. I'm going to put the name of where each location is, purely because of the top of my head, I'm either going to pronounce it wrong or I'm going to say them in the wrong order. So we're just going to go with no names, and I'm just going to explain, and I'll shove it on the screen. So yeah, literally the first place is beautiful. You're walking around, exploring, seeing what you can find. Like, it was still, don't get me wrong, midday by this point, so you're pretty roasty toasty, and we were definitely due some lunch, but you kind of move on because you're like, hey, we want to have this great view, this great tour. So that's what we did. We walked down, the boys were running around like little hooligans. We may or may not have stepped over a fence to take some better pictures. And then we hopped into the car parks here as well. Like, don't get me wrong, parking is very bizarre, because I feel like it's when you're in a car that's not yours and parking in a place that you don't know. Even if you're in an actual car park, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, like, am I going to fit between those two cars? Is that space big enough? Mate, it's the tiniest car in the world. Like, it's nice, but it ain't that big. But parking's free. Like, there's loads of car parking spaces, loads of car parks that are just like free car parks. Now, coming from somewhere in the UK where it's very much that whenever you go anywhere, you always have to pay for parking. Like, I'm not here for that madness. 5 minutes down the road. Okay, cool. And this was more like your beach area. Now, this is, by the looks of it, you can see like it is busy. It is kind of the place where everybody comes. You're like, okay, right, everyone's here. Everyone's sunbathing. Everyone's either running in and out of the water. It's kind of the hustle and bustle where to be. Again, free parking, more like aisles rather than actually like a square car park as such. So you were parking like diagonally down these aisles, and don't get me wrong, it was a bit kind of tighter and scarier to get in and out of, but again, free, you can't complain. Got back in the car, another 5 minutes down the road, and this was another beachfront area, which, don't get me wrong, okay, you might say that, oh, okay, it's not as aesthetically pleasing, it's not as pretty as like the one prior, but here it's chiller. Like, you can see there are people here, but there's not as many people here. There's still kids running around playing, but hey, it's like, if we wanted to sit here and chill, we could. Like, there's plenty of space, there's plenty of time. It's not so loud. There seems to be kind of like a bar type restaurant that was here as well, so you've had those options of things close by. Lagos Old Town. So we drove, and this time we actually parked in a kind of like multi-story car park. So this is one that obviously you're going to be paying for. But again, we were there for a good 2.5 hours and we paid like €2. So all in all, it's not that crazy at all. That's because obviously we're now at about 2:30, and we're all very hungry. We went and got some food, and we found this kind of like burger ranch place. Veggie burgers all around, sat down, stuffed our face, and it was like a new level of energy hit us all. It was like, yep, here we go. Oh, thought I lost the phone again now. I was like, you know what, here we go, this is it. We are going to sit down and stuff our face, enjoy this, and now we're actually going to be able to run around like a hooligan again with all this extra energy. And they did. The boys, it was like literally after they had some food and some drink in them, I was like, yeah, okay, just woken up again in the morning, brand new day. So we ran around, we went exploring, we saw kind of the trinket shops, we picked up some like magnet souvenirs, because obviously we always need to pick up magnets for people. We walked and found kind of what looked like, in the boys' eyes, kind of like your castle walls, your this. It was absolutely stunning. Went up to go explore, and the boys must have spent like half an hour just running around this section. Like, it was absolutely insane. Like, they're just having the time of their life, and you just kind of sit there and go, like, when you're traveling with kids, especially young kids, it's always the small things that make their day. So you just kind of let it happen. You're like, yeah, off you trot. Like, the youngest was loving finding rocks. All he wanted was to find rocks. And he was laying on the floor for ages looking for which rock was the best rock. All of these white rocks that were there. And some guy had walked up to him, like some local had walked up to him and was just like, oh, this one's special. And picked it up, and it was a different colour on the like different patch. And he was amazed, and that was it. It's been in his pocket. And he's got that back here now. It's like, yeah, sold. We walked around and explored like some of the shops some more, and we'd been saying to the boys that, yeah, they could have ice cream and all this jazz. So we found a beautiful ice cream place, picked them some cups. I'm not at that stage where, like, don't get me wrong, like, I get it, kids like to get messy, but hey, come on. They're not at that stage where they're like, right, we can actually eat with a cone without half of it being on me and on the floor, and me now crying because I've got no ice cream. So cups it was. We sat down, had some ice cream, enjoyed that, and then popped into the supermarket on the way back to the car just to pick up kind of like some more bottles of water, pizza for the night, because we're like, hey, they've had burgers, why not? Might as well go all out, we can have a pizza for dinner. And got back in the car, and yeah, like 5 minutes back to the resort. Absolutely beautiful. And now that we've arrived, we've kind of, my second child and myself, we kind of walked out and about around the resort, took one of like the suitcases with us so we can do some like content creation, some videoing and then stuff of it, and just had a nice chilled evening. And then we've come back, had some like light dinner, and yeah, ready for the rest of this evening, in all honesty. Updating the kind of YouTube and blog bios and all that jazz. And for me, I'm debating between whether going in that bath and just enjoying life and probably like, yeah, not wanting to move for the next few hours, or being like, right, you know what, I'm gonna have a shower tonight and then tomorrow we will have a nice bath tomorrow night. But no, other than that, it's been an absolutely beautiful day, and it's been amazing how much we've managed to fit in. And yeah, been able to stand here as the sun sets. Might be windy, but hey, it's still nice and toasty.